Tradies and gentlemen, before we start this episode of the Veggie Bake, we want to ask you to head over to whatever social platform suits you best. Hit us with a like, subscribe, whatever you do on that platform. It helps us help you enjoy yourselves. Here with the boys, doing a Zoom episode today. Ned, how you doing, brah?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad at all. Can't complain with getting a couple of hours in, then getting rained out. Bit of an early day.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that, really. And then, we're doing a bit of a earlier Zoom, which is always good because your boys just firing on all cylinders when it's earlier.
Absolutely all cylinders.
Froome, how you doing, homie?
Yeah, not bad, boys. Not bad. Just fucking, as Ned said, got fucking rained out. So,
well, to be fair, it was sprinkling to the slightest degree, and Dazza was just like, "Nah, fuck this shit. I'm sick of it."
That's like a concreting thing. Like if you hold a talio paper out and it gets wet, it's day over.
Oh, bro, there was 3 drops in my cigarette. It was time to go home.
Yeah, it's all over at that stage. You can't keep working. If your cigarette's getting wet, the fuck's the point of being there?
Also, to be fair, it was just doing enough just to fucking piss you off. Like it'd sprinkle, then it'd fuck off, so you'd get the tools back out, start working again. It'd rain just heavy enough to make you be like, oh, fuck, righto, we better put these tools away and shit. Pack them back up. Just stop again for like another half hour, and it was just like a constant cycle.
Yeah, that's always the worst. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go.
We probably got paid for about an hour and a half of moving shit back and forth, so probably worth it that we just fucked off.
That's not bad. Boys.
Speaking of people fucking off.
No one actually did this week.
Really?
Yeah, which is a massive surprise. I expected something like Harrison and Bronte to go, but they're also playing some type of like game.
It's interesting that you mentioned them.
They're playing a publicity and public image game, them too.
Yeah, for sure.
The longer you can hang in, the more people will remember you.
Yeah, the more shit you can kind of stir up, like the better it is for you afterwards. The more shit. 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Yeah, he just heard his package. So I'll continue his thought. I'll continue my thought. So, let's continue your thought until he gets back. So yeah, it's like we said the other week. It's kind of hard to judge who's like a paid actor on this show, who's not, who's actually there. As like you tend to find that like the people that get a lot of airtime end up with like some form of job in social media afterwards, kind of thing.
Well, like the show's not even, back to my point, the show's not even like finished like airing yet, and Harrison's already like on all the radios. Like he played the game right, and yeah, it's just like played into his favor. I haven't heard much about Bronte since.
Okay, so here's the interesting part.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, really, is there?
Nah.
No, there's not. Mum listens to like a couple of podcasts that sort of, I don't know whether they interview them or they like somebody that's on the podcast that she listens to knows somebody at Channel 9 that works on the show. And it's like literally like an inside informant situation. Apparently, before the last commitment ceremony, they had Bronte locked in a room and wouldn't let her leave until she wrote stay.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. The producers play into the drama a lot. I think it might have been last year or the year before. There was a couple that didn't get along, and they were showing up separate to the dinner party or whatever it was, but they wanted to play into the drama more that the guy was really upset, so they just took him to a different place and like let him chill there. I think he said it was like 5 hours or 3 or 5 hours. He was just in this other place. And then, like, after it kind of sizzled a bit, they're like, oh, yeah, you can go in now to, like, really play it up, though. Like, what the fuck is happening on this show?
Yeah, it's really fucking... You go back and look at the first season, and it was just, like, so toned down because it was all just regular people. And then as it's gone on, it's just become more and more fucking played up. Like,
yeah.
Like, I haven't watched it last week, but how did everything go with that whole, like, couple swap situation?
Really well, except for the funniest thing happened though. It's like I don't know what the couples are. I'm terrible with names, but there's like the couple, the blonde chick and like the taller dude that does nothing. They're the one.
Yeah, that Melinda.
Melinda and
Leighton.
That's
his
the
name,
one.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, they're like full having a back and forth in their room because like their couple, they had to swap with like Bronte and Harrison. So it was like them 2 couples together.
So, like the blonde chick that Harrison doesn't like, and the blonde that blonde chick that hates Harrison, they just swapped them two couples for like the drama.
Yep, pretty well. How good's a bit where they're just like having an argument in their room, and she goes, "You're being a real Harrison right now," and then it like pans the camera to the left, and he's just in the room like, "You know I'm here."
Yeah, he even says it to her. He's like, "You know I'm here, right?"
Yeah,
like,
and they just go back to arguing like, "Oh, whatever."
Oh, that's mad.
Yeah, like gold.
It's so awkward because they're like arguing about the fact of like, because that chick who hates Harrison, she ends up being like, "Oh well, fuck, I come on the experiment, I'll do this. It's 3 days, whatever." And that Leighton bloke's like, "Nah, it's against my fucking morals. I'm not sleeping in another fucking man's room." Like, no one asks you to go sleep in his missus' bed. Like, go sleep on the couch or something, cunt.
Yeah, you don't have to be in the bed. I kind of get the principles of it though. Like, I wouldn't want to go do that either, but I like his idea of like, I'm just going to go get my own room for 3 days, and then I'll just go to her apartment, do the task, then go back to my own bed. Like,
yeah, like I don't see why I needed to kick up such a fuss about it, but like,
no,
everybody else was doing it, and if there's 2 people on that show that aren't going to fuck over them 3 days, it's more than likely Harrison and that Melinda bitch. They'd fucking at each other's throats.
Yeah. Well, they surprisingly, like, it would have been hella awkward, but they would have just, like, watched TV, do shit that we didn't have to talk to each other that much, except for the task.
Yeah, like, except for the questions and shit they had to ask each other or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just funny, like, watching Harrison sit there while them two argued about the fact he was staying in their fucking room. Like, and he's
So
just sitting there
funny
on the couch like, these cunts are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just sat there like a child in the middle of like a custody argument. Hey, just like, do I get to go home with mum or dad? Like,
Yeah.
he was just so confused.
Oh, you should have seen last night. Cam and Lyndall, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're like doing homestays at the moment. So they go to one of the houses of like the couples, whichever's closer, I'm guessing. But they're at Cam's. He's like in WA, I'm pretty sure. So they're like getting along all good and well. He didn't give her one kiss or something, he says, and as she had in the past, she just has a meltdown about it.
Is this the dying girl?
Yeah, I think she's on medication, so I feel like she like
this
prolonged
former dying girl. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
it's the only way I can remember her.
Yeah. Well, I tried not to remember her that way, so I actually remembered her name.
Just make me feel like a cunt.
Well, like,
of all people, Griff tried to not remember her that way.
Yeah, I'm out here just being respectful in every way I can.
I'm surprised you weren't fucking naming her as your next bit of jerky.
This is the Veggie Bake Boys. Come on. Oh, anyway. Speaking of the jerky, hitting stores soon.
Oh fuck! I might have to make something out of Rupert. Keep your hands off me, woman.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a subject we're gonna have to touch on. But we should get
Ned.
No. I've thought something else about this, right? Because I watched the way that he acted after the producer asked him, like, "Oh, have you been intimate with Evelyn?" And he was still just like, "Yeah," like an awkward child about it, as if having sex with a woman like that doesn't fill you with the utmost fucking confidence. Like, that motherfucker should have done that next producer, like, whatever the fuck they call those interviews where they're doing face-to-face with the camera, like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I defend it impregnable. I style the Petworth. I'm the most ruthless and the most vicious champion there's ever been.
Holy fuck. Yeah, if that... I mean... How does it feel, though, Ned? That he violated, I guess you could say, your girl?
Oh, it was rough.
It was right. Yeah,
he bragged about.
Oh yeah,
and he bragged about it on TV.
Yeah,
this was shaking. Yeah, but that's my point. Like,
he didn't
even brag about it.
Yeah, he was still.
He was just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because he knew he had to answer the question, and he was a bit nervous because of you, Ned.
Yeah,
he was like, oh yeah.
He's seen the shorts. He was just like, fuck, that cunt's out there. He's waiting.
Yeah. Well, it was like filmed a while ago, so maybe he's like, oh man, like calling producers like, you can't air that episode. Like, please get rid of that episode. Like, just, anyway.
So they just cut to a little short of him going, yeah, instead of the one where he's like, yeah, I fucking railed her. Fucking going off.
Yeah. He's like, no, go to the other one. Go to the other take.
It full just cuts to some different voice and like it doesn't even sync up with his lips. Yeah, I fucking forward it down. He's just like, no.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, out of all the dudes, he's probably one of the most likable though, except for you, Ned. Like, obviously, you've got your reasons to not like him. But for me,
that's
like,
the thing. He is hard to hate.
dude, he's just like he seems like a legit dude, like a bit like, you know, full of nerves and everything, but like, you can't blame him, really. Back to Cam and Lyndall though, the dying one. So they're like having a nice time. Cam doesn't give her a smooch. You know, she's running out of time at this stage, so she needs as many kisses as she can get. He didn't give her one, and she was fucking ropeable. Anyway, they go sit down with one of their mates. It seemed to calm down a bit. You know, they've stewed on it for about 3 hours by the look of it. The sun's gone down. Everyone's left, and it's just like them two and one of their other mates, or one of his other mates, and then they just kick off, and it just pans to this poor dude, and he's just like, I think I might just get out of here, And they're full just like, they full pretty much hold him hostage. Like, no, you got to be like the middleman, pretty much. And he was just like,
ref.
Yeah, like, I don't really want to do that. But then you can tell it's like a hard cut, and then it comes back to the conversation again. So they must have cut camera producer being like, oh, if you can just stay here, like, it really helps. Like, yeah, and then it just occasionally pans to this dude, and he's literally just holding a beer, like, just in the middle of a fight, dude. Like, they were going at it.
Legit. The producer was just like, you want to make quick $200?
100%.
Just stand there and look shocked.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't even had to look shocked. He was just like, you could tell he was so uncomfortable. Like, when they first kicked off, he was like, waited for a little break in the action, was like, I think I'm just going to like go over there pretty much. And they're like, nah.
There is nothing worse than being in that situation where two people start fighting around you and you're just like,
But the worst is when you get dragged into it. Have you ever been dragged into it?
No, I don't think I have, to be honest.
People just start like, what do you reckon? You're like, I reckon I don't want to be involved in this shit. That's what I reckon.
Yeah. I reckon this is a you problem.
Yeah.
I reckon I don't know enough about what is going on to have an opinion.
Or care enough, for that matter.
Oh, it's the worst.
Well, you can't care if you don't know.
Yeah, that was this dude.
It get wild.
Oh, but that chick, like, he's a good dude, man, that Cam guy. I feel anyway. Like, he seems like a legit dude, kind of like a bushy kind of guy. Just seems like a legit dude, and she just rides him, not even in the good way, just about not giving her enough kisses. And he's like, it's my first relationship. I'm not a real affectionate guy. Like, I'm trying.
That's him and that fucking poor Duncan cunt. His missus cries every time they get on the fucking couch. Them two are like in the same boat.
Hear me out here, right? What's her name? Alyssa? I don't know.
Yes, that's her.
Okay, I've been in an abusive relationship, and that chick makes me want to kill myself more.
Okay.
Like, she's fucked.
Bro, any fucking thing that happened, the first thing, I got a child. Shut up. Don't go on a show if you've got a fucking, how old's a fucking kid? She doesn't talk about it. All you ever hear is, I got a child, and then she just runs into a different room. And then you got to fucking watch her fucking cry for like half an hour. I'm sick of it.
It's like, you know, like also like recently being out of a relationship, you see these fucking things that come up and you're just like, oh, like these are massive fucking red flags. Like there's just like these women just have these breaks, whether they're, you know, actors or whether it's fucking real. They have these like moments on the show and you just say like, oh, that's exactly why you're on a show like this.
Well, like, got to the point where this Duncan dude had a meltdown, man. Just started crying and shit. Just to the point where
I saw that in like the previews.
Yeah, that should have been like me starting to see Sarah. Like, it's perfect scenario, and then her going, oh no, but you don't understand what it's like to have kids. Yeah, but are you going to give me an opportunity to be in your life and show you that I am willing to try, or are you just going to keep throwing the fact that I don't have children in my face.
Well, imagine this scenario for him, right? Like it
Like-
obviously worked out, and like you stepped up and you do a dope job. Like it fucking,
Yeah, 100%.
like it's just like you're fucking dope for that fucking role. Imagine if when you were trying to get into that position, anytime you try to have a conversation of like, oh, you know, it'd be cool to like do this, oh, we can, and then just runs away to a different room and doesn't speak to you for like a week.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I know what, like I mean I don't know what like it's like to be Duncan having to deal with that shit, but it's like imagine if like that had have happened in like my relationship.
Oh, dude, yeah, you wouldn't.
Like I would have been like, what the fuck? Like are you gonna like let me try?
Well, he's asked her like, she's like,
Or what?
can I try? And she's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, and then just like leaves.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. Oh, the worst. The worst.
Like, well, he's never gonna get it if you don't give him a shot.
But then, like, it come to the couch. Like, they obviously stayed. But it's like getting to the point where, like, Duncan's opened up about, like, how he's been made feel. And she got shitty at him about it. And then, like, that Alessandra, whatever her name is, full called her on it. Like, hey, like, let him talk.
It was funny about because you could tell she was real defensive because he'd fucking like said it to another woman, like because she's like, oh, how have you been feeling? And he's like, oh yeah, this happened, and you know, I cried, and then she was just like turned straight to him, was like, you cried? You never told me that.
Yeah.
Like that's a big emotion to not share with me. And then that fucking Alessandra or whatever was like, but he's telling you now. She's like, no, he's telling you.
Oh, dude,
That was like full shitty as fuck about it.
if looks could kill, Jesus Christ, the way she looked and full pointed at that Alessandra, like, no,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my
He's
god,
telling you, like, oh fuck.
It's literally the hand gesture equivalent of listen here, cunt.
pretty much, yeah, yeah, to a T. Oh, I just feel so bad for that dude, man. Like, what? How can he win in any situation? There's no situation where he like takes a dub in any way.
No, like he sat down and he's full like, I don't care that you have a kid. Like I ticked the I don't care box on the application.
Yeah. Well,
Like kids or no kids, I'm down.
there was an episode yesterday where like they're on homestay and both of them live in Sydney where the show's like held. So like,
Oh yeah.
they both just get to go in between friends and doing other shit. They just like set up like a coffee day and like there's that chick and two of her friends just like bombarding Duncan about how you'll never know what it's like. And like,
Oh fuck.
this poor dude's just like sitting there like, oh yeah. And then he gets it put on him. You're only going to see me every Wednesday and every other weekend when like the kid's with a dad, obviously, or with its dad. Yeah, and then like they just put him on the spot, like, is that going to work with you? Like all three of them are just like staring at him, like, will it? And he's like, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he got like, yeah, full sabotage, man.
Fucking poor
That's
cunt.
yeah, that's fucking weird as, man.
But then, yeah, they went on a boat ride afterwards and they tried to have a conversation. You can pretty much imagine what happened. I'll give you one guess what happened.
She cried.
Yeah.
Did she jump off the boat?
I feel like
I don't know
that
what it's like. Start swimming away.
there was two options, Ned, right? And I feel like that was top tier. Like that was like right next to the other option. She summed them both up. If this boat didn't have like a bottom part, she was going overboard, bro. I tell you. It had like
What do you mean?
It had like a little walkway down. She like went and sat down in there, just cried, and he just sat on the deck drinking wine. But like, if it didn't have that little walk thing, she was jumping in. There was no way she was staying. I got a kid, yeah.
Fucking hell.
In the water.
You never know what it's like.
Yeah, pretty much. You're like, oh, give him a shot, man. Like, Jesus.
Like he seems like a nice enough dude.
He reminds,
Seems pretty genuine. Like,
Oh.
like a good bloke.
yeah, legit just seems like a genuine dude. Like, real logical. He's not like trying to like, you know, do any dodgy shit. He's just right down the middle. He'll never know what it's like though for him.
Poor cunt.
He'll never know what it's like. So fuck him. I believe a bit of like a NRL. Is the dude that passed away, is he the fella that's on the trophy?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, that. I think it's Arthur Summons and Mick Proven or something that's on
All right.
the premiership. But that was John Sattler. His son played when we were like kids. Scott Sattler did that.
You remember that
on
I was about
Todd
to say-
Byrne in the 2003 grand final?
Yeah, he
remember that?
Yeah, he sounds familiar for sure.
Do you remember it was Roosters versus Panthers, wasn't it?
Yeah, Roosters.
And that cunt makes a break up the line, and dude like comes across the field and like grabs him around the legs and takes him out from like 2 or 3 meters out, and it was like a mad try saving tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Scott Sattler, so that's his son.
Yeah, right.
His dad played. I think he won like 3 premierships or something like that. He played for South, won the premiership in 1970, broke his jaw in 3 places early in the match, and still played the whole 80.
What a beast.
Just like I heard a thing today, like he said, like he's not trying to, like he wasn't trying to sound tough or nothing, but he got his jaw, and he figured out if he got his jaw and pushed it up into his mouth guard and like held it there, it didn't hurt.
Yeah, right.
So he just like push it up and like bite down to hold it there with like his mouth guard and just kept playing.
That's
That's
beast
tough
mode
man.
101. Do we know what he passed away of?
I'm not sure. I know he was like 80.
Okay. So yeah, probably
he
more
was-
natural things.
He was getting on.
Well,
There's no. Go you boys talk. I'll just
Yeah,
couldn't find
I'm
anything.
trying to think if I've heard anything, but sorry, nothing really springs to mind that I saw other than just the announcement of it today. Really,
yeah, I seen the announcement of it and I had like a bit of a rough idea who he was. It's sad, man. You see, like, I feel like it's because like the generation before us is all kind of in that age. So you see a lot of people that were just like still in the picture when we were kids kind of passing on now.
yeah,
Sad, man. It's sad. Like we're getting older, but then like the thing of that is like all the shit we looked up to as kids is like all like dying and shit now.
starting to go away.
Yeah, you like
now.
look at like bands and shit that you loved when you were like young. And, like members are like starting to pass and you're like, what the fuck? Scary, man.
It is. It's fucking scary.
Because
But
when you're young, it's like everyone lives forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't realize that like death is just around the corner for anybody. And then all your heroes start dying, and you're just like, "Fuck, man,
Yeah.
what the fuck."
Oh, it's
no, like I made
sad,
this
man.
point to Froomy today, kind of thing. Like he would, what you would say, like Eminem's probably one of the people that you like look up to, kind of thing, or
Yeah.
like have always like looked at as like that big influence or just someone you've always had in your life, kind of shit. He's like mid-50s and abused drugs for most of his life. Like he could drop dead any fucking day.
He looks pretty healthy though.
Touch
still.
wood. Oh yeah, he looks healthy as fuck now, but
M seems like the kind of guy that lived to like 90. Just still rapping and shit. Just like you can't even understand him. It's all just like mumbling, but it's still dope.
yeah.
Like you still vibe with it. You're like, oh man, I couldn't keep up with like Rap God, so might as well just listen to this.
Like, there's no way, and then I said after, like, there's no way Ozzy Osbourne makes it to fucking 2030.
How old is he now? He'd be like 60, right?
70s,
Oh, really?
nearly 80. Yeah, he's fucking old, man.
Well, we can pretty much just like kind of hope that it's not like, weeks away.
Hang on. Actually, you might be right. I know the dudes from the Rolling Stones are in their 70s.
I mean,
so let's.
it's hard to tell with
just
Ozzy
check that
because he's
out.
like always got long hair over his face.
Ozzy's
and
74 years old.
shit. Jesus. Still speaking real well.
Hang on. How old? Hey, what's the name of that dude? What's the name of the guys? The lead singer from fucking Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
I think he's even older. Mick Jagger is 79 years old and still playing shows.
That's badass though.
Yeah.
Is he the dude that does like heaps of like training? There's like a front man of some kind. He's like
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
the one you're thinking of.
It is? What a beast, dude. Yeah, that makes it even more impressive that he's like aging. I don't like to call people old because there's going to be a stage soon where we're like in like 10 years when we're 40 and someone's like, oh yeah, old people. And we're going to be like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I try to refrain
Also,
from that.
Speaking of being old and possibly near death, Wayne Bennett's Dolphins are killing it.
I mean,
What a segue. What a fucking segue.
I mean, who would have thought that they wouldn't? It's fucking Wayne Bennett. Dude, imagine the juniors that he's raising in that club. They're going to...
They're pretty like established in Queensland as well, which made it so much easier for that club to kick off and get up off the ground.
Yeah, 100%.
And they've got heaps of like experienced players. Like, yeah, they're all sort of near the ends of their careers. A lot of them, except for like the halves and stuff, and like a few people in the back line. But like most of them have been around, won premierships. They've played for their countries, played state of origin. Like they've got a pretty like decent team.
Yeah, and then they got one of the best coaches, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, he's won fucking premierships just about everywhere except for Newcastle, I think.
Yeah, he's just
won Origin series, fucking everything.
Like I just,
dude, what hasn't he done?
I love the fact that the junior squads that he's going to be raising right now, they're going to be like the most disciplined players ever, man. They're going to be so fucking good.
He's only the coach for this year, isn't he?
It'll be a contract for that year.
Yeah, I think he signed a 12-month like contract. So, and the way they're going, he may just sign on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, if he gets, especially even if he makes it to the finals, which 100%, the way that they're rolling, they're not going to fucking just crash and burn.
I mean, only my team does that. That's specialty. Usually, they start strong and then just flop it at the end of the year.
Flop it.
Yo, I think. Hang on. What you said? You watched a bit of footy on the weekend for him. What games did you watch?
I didn't watch Friday night. I watched a little bit of the Dolphins game.
Who did they play?
Newcastle. It was pretty tight for like a lot of the game, and then like the Dolphins just ended up scoring a few quick tries sort of towards the end. Ended up winning like 36-20.
Jesus.
Would have been an exciting game.
I watched the Roosters and Rabbitohs. I think the Rabbitohs were winning like 10-0. And the Roosters got back into it. And then I ended up falling asleep.
That good of a game. Just that good, eh?
Well, the Roosters ended up winning 20-18, so it ended up being a real good game once I fucking went to sleep.
Maybe that's just like if we ever get a boring fight or something, we're just like, Froomes, fall asleep real quick.
You go lay down, you can't.
Have a nap.
And then I watched the Titans and Melbourne game. That was 38-34. The Titans ended up getting the win. That's 2 losses in a row for Melbourne.
That's not good for them, eh? Are they who won last year, Melbourne?
Penrith. Penrith have won the last 2 in a row.
They're playing pretty well still, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they got the win last week. They played the bye, so they got 2 points for nothing.
Why do they still have a bye if they added an extra team in?
Because now there's 17 teams.
Okay.
So each week one team gets like the week off.
Okay.
It was 16 teams last year.
Yeah.
So no one got the bye, so everyone just played every week.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm pretty out of touch with the footy. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Oh, and then I watched
try and catch a bit more of it.
I watched the Dragons Brisbane game. That was
Dragons would have lost though.
Yeah, it was a real tight game though.
Yeah.
It was it was like 18 all or something.
Who do the Dragons have this year? That's who I support to a degree. Like if someone asks me who do you go for, I'm like the Dragons.
They got like Ben Hunt. They got some good players.
He's played for the Broncos, Ben Hunt.
Yeah, the blokes that dropped the ball in the grand final and allowed Thurston to kick the field goal.
Yeah, so that's why the Dragons would have got him. Is he related to Mike at all? Do you know?
Mike?
Yeah, is Ben related to Mike? I think they're brothers.
Alrighty. Well, before we move off of this, why don't we just quickly go through and we'll just literally just go through all the games and see who you reckon's going to win. Eagles versus Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, take Panthers. That's a grand final rematch, so expect a good one there.
Storm versus Tigers.
Close one.
I'd go the Storm. The Tigers fucking couldn't win shit at the moment.
Dolphins versus Broncos.
Tight game, both playing good football.
Yeah, they really are. Hey,
And it's at Suncorp.
on Sportsbet, it's $1.40 Dragons, $2.97 Dolphins. That's not a bad bet.
Yeah, the Dolphins are going all right. You could probably take them.
I was about to say, I'd probably say that you like decent, like bet of the week. Hey,
As a value bet, you could probably get away with taking the Dolphins. The Broncos have been playing good though, so that'll be I expect it to be a real tight game. Maybe like the Dolphins could get the win, but I expect Adam Reynolds' game management and stuff to be able to get Brisbane over the line. Just
see how it pans out. Alrighty, and then we got your Titans playing the Cowboys.
right, tight game. My heart says the Titans, but I know the Cowboys. If they click, I'll do a number on them.
They'll get it done.
For sure.
Sea Eagles versus Rabbitohs.
Oh, another
That's
tight
it.
game.
Yeah, it's Bunnies are at home.
I'll probably take the Bunnies. That's probably being biased too because I'm not a fan of Manly. I don't think anyone is. Fuck you, Aiden.
He's getting himself fucking like a full screaming setup, so we're gonna have him on soon.
As soon as I seen Manly, I thought of Aiden. So love you, bro, but fuck you.
Oh, he'll hear this for sure. All right, we got Doggies versus Warriors in Auckland.
Ooh,
that's a razor thin margin, $1.89 to $1.91.
It's a tight game.
Do you reckon
Warriors
being in their like home fucking turf gives Warriors the advantage?
Yeah, probably. But the Bulldogs are coming off what they beat
the Storm 2 weeks ago, and then we smashed the Tigers last weekend.
Yeah, I could probably take the Bulldogs there if they click. The Warriors are a bit hit and miss.
There's zero money in that either way. I've got the Raiders versus the Knights.
I'll take the Knights.
I think the Raiders are fucking getting destroyed with injuries this year. Hey,
am I wrong? And the Knights have been getting fucked with like concussions as well. I'm not sure. I think Ponga should be back this week from his concussion.
Yeah, they made him take the week off, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they brought in a new 11-day protocol for head knocks. Like, if you have a grade 1 concussion, you have to like sit out 11 days, no training, no contact or anything.
Makes sense.
Good rule to have.
They're trying to look after their CTEs or whatever they are like post-career.
Alrighty, and in the last game, we got Dragons versus Sharks.
Ooh. That's a tight game. I don't know.
That's interesting. That's the only margin that I've seen where the team with the higher placing has the less money on them. The Dragons are 9th and they're coming in at $2.31, and the Sharks are 12th and they're coming in at $1.60.
Yeah, if I just quickly checked it. Oh, no, the team list won't be available until tonight. But if Nico Hines is playing, he's been out the first few weeks. They're halfback, so if he's back this week,
he won the Dally M last year, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I think so. So if he's back, I'd take the Sharks. But if he's not, the Dragons have been playing pretty good football if they are able to throw the ball around and whatnot. But if Nico Hines is there, Sharks.
Alrighty. Well, there's your first installment of fucking Froomes Footy Corner.
You can't go wrong with Froomes Footy Corner, mate. And
I mean, it's probably a nice segue considering we're talking about bets and people placing their money on things. Let's talk about FaZe Clan.
Oh, well, to the people that did put their money into FaZe Clan, it has fallen in the ass
2 seconds. Froomy, do you know what FaZe Clan is?
Nope.
Okay, so they're like
Griff.
They-
I saw that look in his eyes of like, what's happening right now?
I have no clue what's going on.
well, I know them from Call of Duty, like, but I feel like it's much bigger than that. Like they branch out to like Valor and other sources.
I feel like
of
they
things.
started in Call of Duty and then they branched out to other games.
Well, it was like a Call of Duty quick scoping team, pretty much, and they used to put out montages of like crazy quick scopes and this type of shit happening. Well, recently they've obviously blown up, as like most of the esports has, but I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a thing you can do to be made a stock. I forgot exactly what it's called, but essentially they went about this action to make themselves a stock, and to do that they had to like sign a bunch of people with that would like invest money into it. It was like they got like people like Snoop Dogg, a couple of rappers, some NFL players. Like they had some pretty like high profile people be involved with them. They had to sign a contract saying that they want to invest in FaZe, and it was like a contract where they could just pull their money out at any time.
Oh yeah.
So everything went ahead. They got made a stock. And then I think it was like 90% or 90 something percent of the people that agreed to put money into them withdrew. So they were like no longer a part of it. I think like one of the only like high up people that stayed with them was Snoop Dogg, but he's just like a hardcore Call of Duty fan, loves Call of Duty. And then I feel like it was just like a dope thing for him to be like, oh, you're on FaZe, like you're FaZe Snoop Dogg. So I feel like he just like probably didn't care enough about the bit of money he put in to actually give a fuck. But
Snoop.
as of
Didn't Snoop start his own like gaming fucking team or something?
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because at the moment, FaZe risk being delisted as stock as price continues to fall below $1. So they're sitting at like 70 cents or something like that. So people that invested, I don't know the exact amount they were investing, but yeah, people are losing a fuckload of money. It reached a peak of $20 per share, and then since then has fallen down. Yeah,
Just seems sketchy to me.
Oh, dude, it's so dodgy. The dude that did it, let me find this fucking guy's name if I can.
They need to keep an eye on where these cunts are putting their money.
Well, yeah, like it's gotten a lot of attention drawn to it. Like
the way that this all moves, it feels intentional.
Yeah, the dude that's like part of it is like super sketchy. His name's like Lee Trink, is his name. And he's like in work with some other company who's put over like $100 million into like FaZe recently to try keep whatever the fuck they're doing at the moment afloat, but it's just failing, like falling in the ass. But this Lee dude's thing, he's like all about Gen Z. He's like, oh, Gen Z this, Gen Z that. I reckon you're probably like onto the right path. There's something's a bit dodgy about it. And he's like, who's the easiest fucking people to target? Gen Z. They'll just listen to like anything that they're told by people that they like idolize. So they got like a bunch of people that are like, yeah, just people idolize, got them involved in it. Yeah, got a bunch of people's money. And now it's just like falling in the ass. Can't think of the company they were parted with.
Not even so much that I think sketchy about it. It's the fact that there's a lot of attention around it, and all of a sudden there's a lot of attention around the fact that the stock's dropping below $1. This seems like one of those fucking pump and dump schemes in the sense that there's a lot of publicity around the fact that their stock's failing. People then, because instantly the first thing that clicked into my head when you said that was, like that might not be a bad purchase in the sense that like if you just buy like $40 fucking of it and then it like turns around and skyrockets, who fucking knows? But then straight away I thought, well, that's probably what they want people to think, because those cunts would just be sitting there waiting, rubbing their hands together for all of these people to think, oh, 70 cents on something that could potentially skyrocket, pump all their money back into it, the stock goes back up, then they fucking pull their money back out and leave.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't understand stocks a great deal, but there's nothing to stop them from doing that, is there?
No.
So yeah, that's fucking red hot then.
Unless you could, like, the only way to stop them is, like, with a long-ass investigation to prove that they all, like, colluded either within themselves or with other people to, like, make the stock go down so that they could then promote the fact the stock was going down. Exactly like I said, that's the whole process. Make people put money back into it, then rip all the money out from everybody.
I don't know if that's what's happening, because it's like, since like they got put in the stocks, it's just been like a steady decline. Like they just haven't done it right. And then whoever the company that he's like working with pumped a bunch of money back into it again to try keep FAZE alive, pretty much, because like this is killing FAZE. Which I didn't know is like how deep FAZE went. Like, yeah, I always just thought it was just like a Call of Duty team. But then it's like...
Did they turn it into stock or crypto?
Stock.
That's weird.
Dude, the whole situation's fucking weird. I seen a thing like about FAZE, and I was like, fuck's like a doco about FAZE doing like in recommended. Yeah, and it was actually pretty interesting. I was like, oh, okay, that's super sus. The whole situation seems weird as fuck. Why makes like FAZE a stock? How does that benefit in any way other than like obviously like a money making scheme?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's very strange.
It all sounds weird. I don't know how any of that shit works.
Like
I never looked into it.
My whole thing that I'm taking out of it is that this dude's got like something weird going on with Gen Z. You listen to any interview he's done, he's just like Gen Z this, Gen Z that, everything just Gen Z. But like all he's done is kind of like raw dog Gen Z.
Well, speaking of getting raw dogged, Griff.
Oh, this is where I was hoping it led.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say another word, but I think that one's even better.
Yeah.
Sneako.
Oh. Yeah, what a man. And when I say that, I mean...
Holy shit.
What a pathetic excuse of a man.
No, he's not a man. That's just it. This is the dude we spoke about in the car, Froomy.
Oh, mate, that can pull out a threesome, like he pulls out a fight, and just sit in the corner jerking his gherkin while his missus gets fucked.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's him. I legit reckon he's like full like, do you guys need a drink? Need a sandwich? You guys like hydrated? Everything good?
Babe, you're sweating. Here's the towel. Wipe yourself down.
Come on, you're embarrassing us. This fucking... Well, I love how he's like... Well, it just shows you the kind of people that like Tate and shit's hanging around.
Yeah.
If like because like him and Sneako were like pretty close, but I feel like they had a falling out. I don't know. I feel like there was some weird thing there because there's like different bits and pieces you see on TikTok occasionally of like them two saying shit about each other. But if they're like promoting like, no, you should do this and do that. Like, I'm the ultimate man, but I let my missus get fucking plowed. Like, you're not the ultimate man. You're a fucking pussy, man.
Well, dude, all you had to do was like watch the footage of the two dudes that were with him, just instantly look at him and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? And then he tries to justify it, being like, no, it's like a really healthy thing and like everyone should do it. Oh, so everyone should come down to your level so no one can make fun of you.
I tell you what everyone should do. Everyone should go plow his missus. If he's that into it, fucking... Yeah. Let's get a fucking petition going. And like every person on that fucking list just gets to go plow her right in front of Sneako while he makes us fucking sandwiches.
Well, there's... like, you're just saying that. I was like, oh, thinks he's all manly and shit. Nothing more manly than sitting in the corner playing with your dick while watching your missus get fucked, is there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's super alpha of you.
I mean, I don't know what's Charlie's actual fucking name because he's got like so
Charlie's
many...
name is Charlie.
Yeah, but his like name, his tags and shit.
Penguin Zero and Moistcritikal.
Moistcritikal, you, my friend, are a G. I've never seen someone get dissected so fucking well.
Dude, he literally hit him in every single way that I think my favorite part as well was the fact that he made fun of his physique and actually has a better one. He remember
jacked.
It would like it gets to the part of the video. We'll go back and explain the whole the whole story for anybody that doesn't know after this. But the part of the video where he gets to the part where he's talking about how he's not gonna fight Sneako, and he's like, and besides, he's like, was like, there's no need to fight. He was like, I've already like looked better than you anyway. And then shows like some photo of Sneako in some weird fucking, what was he wearing?
I feel like, you know how like people were just like dressing up in female stuff for a while there?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, he was wearing a corset.
Yeah, he was
just
wearing
weird.
a corset. And then, yeah, just cuts to a photo of like old mate who doesn't look that cut, just absolutely fucking shredded in front of a squat rack. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always wears like big white tees, so he's kind of like hiding it, I guess. Not hiding it, but like
he referred to himself as anime character physique.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah.
pretty spot on.
Okay. So did you like, obviously you watched all of those videos that you sent me yesterday. So
Yeah.
do you want to quickly run through the whole saga?
Oh, fuck me dead. Where did it begin? Okay.
It started with the fresh and fit guys.
Yeah, who were like talking about their body counts. And one of the dudes was like, I'm triple digits, like, and then he's like points at his mate and he's in 4 digits, easy. And it's like, oh my fucking God, you guys are pathetic. But you like, then it goes to like Charlie and he's just like pretty much saying if there's a universe where that guy has slept with one woman, he'd be surprised, let alone 1,000, which I thought was just fucking funny. He's just pretty much like, no, that guy has never had sex. Like, just kind of like made a joke of it, moved on. That dude must have been one of the guys that, you know, Sneako fancied having back in the bedroom with his partner. So he came in and tried to defend him, done some crazy video trying to talk shit about this Charlie dude. Brought up a picture of like Charlie and his partner, which I don't understand, and then just pretty much was like, yeah, that's all the evidence I need. It's like, I don't really get that. Well, did I miss something? Do you know, Ned?
No, I didn't really understand that either.
Okay.
He made like no point. He was literally trying to say like, oh, your missus isn't good looking. Yeah, well, you let yours choke on other men's dicks.
Yeah,
so
well, you watch. So, I mean, pros and cons, boys, you know? Pros and fucking cons. I mean,
pop quiz. Does your missus look better with or without another man's cum all over her fucking face, Sneako?
It's got to be with. That's what he'd say.
Oh, 100%.
He'd be like, do I get to lick it off? You fucking weirdo, man. You're a fucking freak. He's not like, did you see the fucking gif I put in the chat yesterday as well? He looks like a fucking, I can't say that. That's extremely fucking.
I don't even know what you were going to say, but at least I don't have to cut it out this time.
He looks like a wacky inflatable tube man. Like his big ass long arms.
Wacky waving arm flailing inflatable tube man.
I was going to say he looked like a fucking monkey, but I thought that was a bit racist. So I fucking went away from it. But like, just the way he's dancing around, he's got like full chimp arms and shit. He looked like a monkey.
No, I understand what you're saying without like, you know, you're not saying it for the actual connotation of what it is.
That's why I stopped.
He legitimately has like the physicality of like a fucking spider monkey.
Yeah,
he's just all limbs.
Yeah, just chimp. But he like tries to call Charlie out to box and he's just like, I don't want to box. But then there's like another dude who keeps calling him out to fight and he's just like, ignores him pretty much.
Yeah, I also, no, not only ignores him, he literally said like in a stream, like, nah, I'm not going to fight him. I'd rather just stay at home and talk shit on the internet. Like, okay, so you're a bitch and a cuck.
That's got cuck written all over it. He's just a cuck through life. But then he's got like this thing where he's got like this young generation that he can say all this shit to and they're just like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are way too fucking easily influenced.
Where was that in the story? Pretty much.
Well, it's even evidenced by the fact that you watch the video and he's like on stream with Aiden, who is obviously a little bit younger than him, and is just sitting there, just like gargling his fucking balls at every single point that he makes. Like, yeah, that's right. Incels and NPCs and soy boys and fucking.
Oh, the worst. What's a soy boy?
I had to stop myself from saying a word too. It's literally like what they try and equate to people that get their feelings hurt, which is what they are, people that get their feelings hurt. Sneako posted some collage on Twitter of all of the YouTubers that he has beef with.
No, that wasn't just a collage. That sat in his live stream for like months.
Oh.
It was just like a little thing that just sat in the corner. It was like, yeah, Charlie was just front and center. Or because he like came back out and went at Sneako because Sneako like showed a thing about his girlfriend. He's like, I don't understand what the issue is with my girlfriend. At least like pretty much went like, at least she's not getting plowed down while I watch. And then
that's when it sort of like
it escalated.
Kicked off after that, yeah. So then that's when old mate goes on his fucking stream and his exact quote while he was holding up the magazines.
Oh no, wait,
there's
more to that. So he was in a stream at that point talking shit about Charlie when Charlie was also streaming at that stage. So like their viewers were like kind of having a bit of a back and forth going in between chats. And I feel like Charlie said, go to his stream and just call him a cuck. And then all his viewers just went to this cunt stream to call him a cuck. And that's when, yeah, he started doing this, I guess.
Yeah, he starts waving his fucking like clips around and then says like, "Oh, you say you watch my clips? How about you watch these clips?" And then I can't remember whether it was on the same stream or whether it was like later on. I think it was in a separate video that Charlie posted. He was, you know, like obviously like just trying to dick on him kind of thing, but explains like they're not clips, they're mags, and then shows the fact like obviously like trying to be a dick in the sense of being grammatically correct with these things, but also a bit of a show of force in the sense of like, I have weapons too, cunt. Like,
well, not just a shitty little pistol, even the size of, I don't know much about guns, but you can tell the size of Charlie's pistol is definitely a bigger caliber than fucking Sneako's was.
And the fact that his magazines are like solid, like stainless steel or chrome or something like that. He obviously put money into it.
Yeah.
To the point that he knows how to use it. You don't buy a chrome handgun for no fucking reason. Well, I mean, obviously you do, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that does.
No, I thought it was pretty like, I was like, oh yeah, he's got a gun too. And then he proceeds to lean down beside his table and pull up. I think it was like a single shot AR.
It looked something like an M4 or something like, man. It was beefy.
Yeah, this cunt fucking hands up with I'm going to say an AR. And just like, same as this is a mag. And you're like, oh my fucking God. This guy's going to murder Sneako and everyone he cares about.
Ready for war.
Like, yeah. I feel like we're going to come to the end of this story and there's going to be a plot twist and it's going to be like, Charlie was the dude the whole time. That was just plowing Sneako's misses. There wasn't, because apparently it's happened more than once. Apparently it was like on 4 occasions.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, in a small period.
And yeah, that's just the ones that he's admitted to.
Yeah. But like the first one, he reckons he couldn't handle it. He got up and walked out. But then proceeded to be like, I've still got a sprinkle of manhood left. You want to go? You thirsty, babe? You want to go again? And she's obviously just a fiend for it. Like, what a fucking weird situation, man.
Yeah.
And why go after someone about their partner when like that is something that you've admitted online?
And more to the point, just stop resorting to this whole fucking, oh, I've been outwitted, I'm now going to challenge somebody to a fight.
Yeah, but I bet you if Charlie like pulled up and was like, yeah, all right, let's fight. I bet you like Sneako's not pulling up.
No. God.
Or he's going to pull up with his little fucking cap gun and get his fucking face blown off with a fucking M4 or something.
He's just a fucking bitch in every sense of the word.
It sounds like the only thing Sneako is going to pull out his missus and go, here, fucker.
Yeah. Just brings his missus to any fight he's ever had. Like, what? You like it? Not bad, eh? Babe, turn around. Do a spin.
No, I'm not jumping on there. I'm just going to sit over here and watch.
Yeah. Sneako, like,
she's all yours.
Are we gonna like?
She's all yours, mate. She's all yours.
We're gonna plow her up, Sneako. Like, no, just you, man. I just want to watch. Can I get a couple photos for later?
Oh, fucking hell, man. Obviously, yeah, this saga's gonna like evolve probably over the next coming days. So maybe do a bit of an update on this next week. But for the meantime, if you see this, you lanky fucking... Oh, hang on. Last point to make before we get off of this. The fact that he's extremely defensive of the Netflix movie Cuties, which was widely like disparaged for depicting children in highly sexual positions.
Like,
and he defends it as a good movie.
Anyone I've heard speak about it, like,
pedophile.
Has just been like, that is fucking disgusting.
Which is why I needed to make that point before I say my next thing directly into the camera. You lanky fucking rock spider. If you want to fight somebody, fly me to your fucking house and I'll turn your face into mush.
I'll be the ref. Froomes corner man. The boys are there.
I was gonna say send you, but you're obviously too tall for him. So, you know, he needs somebody that like has a little bit of a height disparity, so he thinks that he has a fucking advantage.
Snap.
By the way, I'm gonna fuck your missus first.
Yeah.
So you can have some last enjoyment out of your life before I take it away.
Yeah, and then
that's no threat. You're just like, oh man, you want to fuck her? And then you'll be like, oh no, now I'm gonna punch your head and be like, oh, you just want to fuck my missus again?
Yeah. Any of your mates want to go? Bring some friends. More the merrier.
But just, yeah, exactly that point, man. Anybody that has been defending that movie is generally a fucking pedophile.
Oh, they got to be. I mean, any sane person I've heard speak about it, like on a podcast or in passing, has just been like, nah, that is fucked up. Like there was petitions signed to try to get it taken off Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think it's on there anymore.
Oh, so it shouldn't be. Like, oh, let's just give them shit to watch now. Like,
yeah, it's just it's wrong. And it leads us sort of into like the next point that you wanted to make, and a point that you made halfway through it of like, what kind of influences have fucking kids got these days? Yeah, we might not have had the greatest influences kind of thing, but
I mean, to a degree, ours were fucking pretty good. Heavy drinkers.
They were off the rails.
Like, yeah.
They weren't on YouTube telling us to disrespect women.
No, they
were off the rails doing dumb shit, and our generation was smart enough to be like, oh yeah, let's not try that because them cunts are fucked.
Yeah, well, you'd see like the aftermath of them being like hurt or like, you know, something like, oh man, I don't deal with that. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I got other shit going on. But yeah, like you can see like the generation drop. Like these motherfuckers have got like fucking Andrew Tate, Aiden Ross, Sneako. There's a couple of like, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of like really good influences that are like just normal fucking kind of people. But then like the good majority of the ones that like are the most popular are just like people pushing some good, you know, points like work out, do this, do that, like making some good points, but then just being the worst humans in the meantime. Like, I don't get it. We had people that loved to drink, loved to take drugs and just do fucking brutal shit, but to themselves. They're not like dragging other people into their mess. They're not crying about like, oh, I said this and now I'm cancelled. Motherfuckers.
I think like when we were kids, entertainment was for kids. Like it was childish, if you get what I mean. Like entertainment or like media these days is so mature at such a young age that it's like 12-year-olds are getting fucking Andrew Tate videos. They don't need that kind of mentality.
Fuck no. I watched, like my go-to until I was like 15 was like Dragon Ball Z and wrestling.
Yeah.
Which are like pretty like not that bad things to watch. Like Dragon Ball Z, like you could feed that to any kid and they'll be fine. But it's like wrestling had its moments, but it's not to the point where it was like, yeah, ever pushing some kind of fucking weird message or like anything like that.
I just had a knock. I'll be right back.
Fucking get him. What do you reckon about all the influences that we have at the moment from not us, but like the youngins have?
Oh, it's just fucking shit, really. Especially now when everyone's got access to everything.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking random cunt down the street's got access to any form of like social media platform or anything like that. And once, like, I don't know, like this generation has a lot of that like sheep mentality, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like one person jumps on one thing and they all want to follow it.
Well, it's even the equivalent of like people think like this Sneako dude, he likes to call other people sheep. Like, oh, you're a sheep. You're a sheep. But yeah, you're like the anti-sheep. Like you're just jumping on anything that, you know, isn't anything that like the media pushes. You're completely jumping on the opposite spectrum of that. So,
yeah, exactly. Like some of the shit they push is fucking like is shit just to get people to follow. But
yeah.
like some of the other shit is also like factual, like shit that is going on.
Like like wear a mask. Like what the fuck ever. It's not that big of a deal, hey.
Yeah, like people are still wearing them today. Like who gives a fuck if they're still wearing them? Yeah, it looks a bit weird.
Yeah. Like these motherfuckers are
Each
like,
their own.
they're always like, oh, if you wear a mask, you're a sheep. You're a fucking sheep. Yeah, but it makes you, I don't know. There's got to be some type of word for it. But you're like the anti-sheep because you just ride the dick of like the other narrative. And we're like,
Yeah.
you just push the other narrative. You've got no opinion. It's just like, oh, that's the narrative they want you to believe. I'm going that
Yeah,
way.
then you push it like you're a sheep, but like, you know, if some cunts actually got genuine fucking health complications.
100%. But it's like,
like
yeah. How can you just call someone sheep if you're just being a sheep in the opposite direction? It's always, it baffles me. I don't understand it. Like, just grow your own fucking viewpoint. Don't just like ride fucking a dude's fucking dick that's in jail. Probably just gonna rot in there by the fucking look of it.
And like also with all the you know, influencers and shit they've got today, everyone thinks they're fucking tough behind a keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Like anyone's got like, you know, like it's even happened with us, like people like leaving hate comments and shit on like things. It's like you think that's going to affect people. Like you're just as bad as the other cunts that you're probably sitting there going, oh, look at this cunt trying to put shit on someone. Like you're just that person
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh, 100%.
They all just jump on the same fucking bandwagons as each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, when people jump down our throats for saying something about somebody, it's like, do you not realize that you're just doing with text what we did with our voice? It's the same thing.
Yeah, and then like if you were to see said people or whatever in the street, no one would say a word to you. They just like put their head down or whatever and just like walk past.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like whereas when we were younger, if you said something about someone like online or whatever, it was back then, like, yeah, it was the internet, but it was all still, you were only online talking to people who you knew and like that sort of shit. So whatever you said online, at some point, you were still going to have to be held accountable for it, like face to face.
All right. Yeah. 100%. The story of this dude used to like get on MSN through school and just be like a hero, man, on MSN. Like, I'm going to see you at school, but when I'd go near him at school, he'd like sprint away. It's a chubby kid, man. I didn't want to run, so I was just like, whatever. I seen him when we're like,
hold on 2 seconds. I told you this story the other week, Froomes, so you know who this is about.
oh yeah. Well, so I'm walking past like the shops near my house, man, and then there's like this dude and his missus just walk out, and I'm just like, what's up, motherfucker, pretty much. And he's like, obviously didn't recognize me because I don't look like what I did at school. And then, yeah, kind of like told him who I was. And he like tried to shake my hand. Pretty much just like, I'm not shaking your hand. Give him a bit of a what for and in front of the shops. You know, had a little bit of a back and forth. But yeah, pretty much like couldn't do fuck all. We're at like a Woolworths. I'm not just going to like cop charges because of this peasant. We pretty much just said like, oh dude, I'll see you again like sometime, you know, out of the public eye, and we'll see what's up then. Yeah, and then his missus just like, that guy's a fucking psycho. And kind of scurried him away. But it's like the same thing. Like, yeah, it might happen like years fucking later, but shit always catches up, man.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like social media isn't what it was when we were
Nah,
when, like,
fuck
the
no.
internet first started and we were getting involved. It was only now you got people from, you know, all over the world who are literally getting in contact with people and just trying to put shit on them. And
yeah, them days are gone, hey. Like the days of like having to like, oh yeah, if it's fun, like this guy can talk all the shit now. You could never like, you'd just be like, oh, I'll see him around at some stage. Bro, yeah.
Like
half these dudes just are pussies and won't even have a fucking photo in their fucking display thing, but then try to talk shit about, oh, you look like this. What do you look like? And fucking, if you can't even put a picture somewhere, fucking God can only fucking imagine. Look like a fucking beaten in fucking asshole. I can fucking put money on that.
They just got like some random quote as their picture and shit. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's just a prime example of like, that dude is too embarrassed to put their fucking face on the internet. It's like,
and now
there's no originality either.
Say shit.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. Like you're never gonna
and not see you in public.
Yeah, you're never gonna have to do anything about it. You can just try be a hero. But sometimes you will have to do something about it. Some people like, yeah, sometimes you're gonna run into someone and they're just gonna be, oh man, yeah, that was me. They're just gonna stomp. They're just gonna fucking stomp you. Yeah, fucking hell. I did have a point I wanted to go somewhere with that.
Well, probably speaking of people that probably You know, couldn't be showing their faces on the internet lately.
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I kind of get what happened with him, but like, where the fuck did it come from? Like, he was like, I just remember watching him growing up. That was like one of like the people we had watching growing up, like him, Steve-O, like, yeah, we had like a pretty small group of like influencers, but they were all like, yeah, skateboarders, stunters, whatever you want to fucking call them. But then, yeah, we just went from having like Bam, who was like most people's like childhood hero, because he was just like a dope skater, just done the dopest shit, lived with his parents and just fucked with them all the time, like just the funniest shit. But then you kind of get it, like doing that for a living. What the fuck else are you going to be doing outside of that? You're just going to be drinking and partying, thinking of other crazy shit you could do, taking drugs. So
Yeah, and then you lose the youth you had. Can't skateboard, can't do half the shit. Now you're depressed and just into the drugs and the fucking drinking because
now you look like fucking your dad. You look like Phil.
Yeah, and 90% of the people around you are all doing that as well.
Well, I seen something earlier this morning. That's why I started looking into him a bit. But it was like saying something about the alcohol started doing something to his like abdomen and his legs, which pretty much made him not be able to skate. It was like killing off the muscles and yeah, it was just like brutal whatever was happening. He just went on like just I remember just not hearing anything about Bam for like 3 years because it was kind of just a different point where I wasn't watching any of that content. And then it just starts popping up in all this other content of like, oh, Bam's gone off the rails and fucking, done this. A rapper knocked him out at a fucking rap concert. And you're like, what? What the fuck? Yeah, and you like read into it and it's just like, because you haven't seen Bam in ages, just a photo of like a fat Bam. Like,
round as fuck.
Yeah, 2 black eyes and some rapper knocked him out for being a nuisance. And you're like, oh, okay, what the fuck's happening with this dude? So you look into him.
Well, kind of went off the rails after Dunn died.
Yeah, I feel like that was like a big pushing point with Bam.
Yeah, major turning point in his life losing Ryan Dunn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, like, yeah, you're right. That is pretty much where everything, that's where he just went off like under the radar for a bit. You just didn't hear anything from him. And then after you do start hearing from him, it was just like never anything good. Just like, yeah, him just, I don't like that everyone just like kind of is like, nah, you can't have anything to do with Jackass if you drink or do this or do that. It's like, you all made a living doing that by drinking and being fucking crazy. Just because you have all pulled your fucking lives together, you can't just be like, no, fuck Bam.
That's what Jackass was built off of.
Yeah. But now because they're all like, Johnny Knoxville's like sober, Steve-O's sober, and they're like 2 of the biggest parts, they're just like against that, I guess, which isn't a bad thing,
Yeah, well, they probably wouldn't want to be around it, but at the same time.
I'm not sure whether it was them or whether it was the studio themselves.
Well, I know Steve-O tries to have a healthy relationship with Bam, but Bam keeps on shitting on Steve-O. Like, Steve-O had him on tour with him. I don't know if Bam was doing stand-up or if he was just kind of talking, like, as an opener, but Steve-O gave him, like, a period of time at the start of all of his shows. And, yeah, Bam, like, was doing really well, like, had his kid with him up on stage and was, like, full just doing heaps well. And then Steve-O pretty much, like, the only agreement was, like, you're doing it sober, this, that, the other. Yeah, and Bam just pretty much like after shows would like drop his kid somewhere and then just go get fucked up at clubs and do like dumb shit. So, yeah, kind of just shitting on Steve-O for giving him a chance, I guess. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, I noticed that a bit.
Maybe he's just a liability. Like you can't rely on him to do anything. I don't know.
No, that's
Just
pretty fair
fucking
point.
loose cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, it's all good. I get it at the same time. It's all good and well to grow up and make like a living off that. But like, Bam's like pushing nearly 50, right? He's got to be 40 something.
Yeah, he's got to be close.
Yeah, he'd have to be in his like mid-40s at least.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, you're not young anymore, dude. You gotta have a backup plan. You know what I mean? It's all good and well to go do like Beaver Bam, Jackass, all that stuff. He went and done Unholy Wedding or whatever it was called. So he had like, heaps of shit lined up, but he just like pissed through his money at the same time. Would buy like Lambos and do crazy shit with his money. Buy like a mansion and then like just all that type of crazy shit. So there's no way he's like, has like funds for his future life. So what? He's just going to do this crazy shit till he's 80? It makes no sense to me. So maybe that's why the other guys are trying to like calm him down. Like, look, we've all branched out and doing other shit. Like Johnny Knoxville's like acting, Ryan Dunn's dead. Fucking Steve-O's doing like a podcast. So like everyone's doing like
Their own thing.
Yeah, everyone's doing. You right, Ned?
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of doing something like with them, with their life or death. So everyone's doing something to the.
Oh, fucking hell, this episode has been so far off the rails.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was off the rails, then we got it back on. It's just fucking going again.
It happens, sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it skips on and off the rails, this one.
It does.
Like it does too.
But
Not a steady track that it's built on, that's for sure.
no, it's not. I feel like there's more to the BAM topic, but I'm going to read into it more before I just like, this, that.
Yeah. We'll do a bit more research.
But I'd like to.
Speaking of doing more research, we'll do a little bit of a sizzle for next week because I'm going to make Froomy get it done. We'll do a little bit of an old school rating next week.
What are we going to do?
Our top 3 or top 5 cover songs.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Probably 3, I would say.
Yeah, I reckon 3 would be the better option.
Because otherwise it tends to drag on for a little while.
Yeah, well, that's still 9, like 3 between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3's probably the go.
Yeah. Well, tradies
That might be.
and gentlewomen, you can find us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, fucking we're everywhere. YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Pretty much anywhere you look, we're there. Eggplant Tornado Podcast. Help us, help you, enjoy yourselves. Get behind us. Get behind us like, Sneako gets behind his boys, plowing his missus.
See yous.
Bye.